We've heard that they're the solution to a cleaner, greener future, but is that the whole picture? Are electric vehicles really the answer to saving our planet? In today's video, we're exploring the real impact of EVs and why they might not be the environmental champions we think they are. To know all about it, stay tuned with this video till the end. Electric vehicles are often celebrated as a key solution in the fight against climate change, with many believing they're the ultimate answer to reducing carbon emissions and saving our planet. While transitioning to electric mobility is a positive step forward, the idea that EVs alone will solve our environmental problems is both misleading and overly simplistic. Additionally, we'll examine the broader systemic issues, such as energy production methods and sustainable infrastructure, that must be addressed to truly make a meaningful impact on our planet's health. Simply put, while EVs are part of the solution, they're not the complete answer. A holistic approach considering all aspects of environmental impact and energy use is essential for creating a sustainable future. The production of EVs, especially their batteries, is a process that consumes a significant amount of energy and has notable environmental impacts. At the core of any EV is its battery, which is typically made using lithium-ion technology. The extraction and processing of the essential metals for these batteries, such as lithium, cobalt, and nickel, raise serious environmental concerns. Mining these minerals often involves practices that can have devastating effects on the environment, including deforestation, loss of biodiversity, and contamination of water sources. For example, lithium mining requires vast amounts of water, which can lead to water scarcity in already arid regions. In Chile's Atacama Desert, one of the world's largest lithium-producing areas, lithium extraction consumes nearly 65% of the region's water, severely impacting local farmers and indigenous communities. Similarly, cobalt mining in the Democratic Republic of the Congo has been linked to severe environmental degradation and human rights abuses, as toxic byproducts contaminate soil and water, endangering both human populations and wildlife. In addition to the environmental toll of mining, the process of refining these metals and manufacturing the batteries is extremely energy intensive, often relying on fossil fuels. According to a study by the Swedish Environmental Research Institute, producing a single EV battery can emit up to 17.5 tons of carbon dioxide, depending on the size of the battery and the energy source used in production. To put that in perspective, this amount of CO2 is equivalent to the emissions from driving a conventional gasoline car for several years. These factors highlight the complex environmental challenges associated with EV production. While EVs are an important step towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions, it is crucial to consider the broader environmental costs involved in their production. A truly sustainable approach to transportation must address these issues, focusing on cleaner production methods, responsible mining practices, and the development of alternative battery technologies that reduce our reliance on these scarce and environmentally costly resources. While EVs produce zero tailpipe emissions, their overall environmental impact largely depends on how the electricity used to charge them is generated. In regions where the power grid is still dominated by coal, natural gas, or other fossil fuels, the reduction in greenhouse gas emissions from switching to EVs may be less significant than expected. In fact, if an EV is charged with electricity generated from coal, its total emissions can be comparable to those of a highly efficient gasoline car. To fully realize the environmental benefits of EVs, a transition to renewable energy sources like wind, solar, and hydropower is essential. However, this shift is occurring more slowly than necessary, and fossil fuels still play a major role in many parts of the world. For example, China, which produces and sells over 50% of the world's EVs, relies heavily on coal for electricity. This reliance means that despite leading the way in EV adoption, the environmental benefits in China are significantly reduced by the carbon-intensive energy used to power these vehicles. Another major challenge with EVs is managing their batteries at the end of their life. Lithium-ion batteries, commonly used in EVs, typically last between 8 to 15 years before their ability to hold a charge significantly decreases. Once these batteries reach the end of their lifespan, disposing of and recycling them presents both environmental and logistical difficulties. Currently, the recycling rate for lithium-ion batteries is low, and the recycling process itself is complicated and energy-intensive. Without effective effective recycling solutions, the increasing use of EVs could lead to a substantial rise in electronic waste, potentially worsening environmental issues instead of solving them. Furthermore, if the recycling process is not handled correctly, it could result in the release of harmful substances into the environment, undermining the environmental benefits that EVs are supposed to provide. Beyond the direct environmental impacts of producing EVs, there are broader systemic issues that EVs alone cannot solve. One of the most significant challenges is the overall demand for transportation. While EVs are often praised for their lower emissions, this focus can overlook the bigger picture of how our transportation systems and urban planning contribute to environmental problems. EVs do not address fundamental issues like car dependency, urban sprawl, and the growing demand for road infrastructure. Even though EVs produce fewer emissions, they still contribute to issues by supporting the same car-centric model of urban development that has long been problematic. Moreover, the production of EVs requires significant amounts of resources, including metals and energy. The extraction and processing of these materials already pose serious environmental and ethical challenges, and dramatically increasing their use could exacerbate these problems. These concerns highlight the need for a more comprehensive approach for transportation, one that goes beyond simply replacing gasoline-powered cars with electric ones. Instead of focusing solely on EVs, we should also prioritize the development and promotion of public transit, cycling, walking, and other sustainable modes of transportation. Public transit systems, for example, can move large numbers of people more efficiently and with less environmental impact than individual cars, whether they are electric or not. Investing in public transit also encourages denser, more sustainable urban development, reducing the need for expansive road networks and preserving green spaces. By integrating these alternative transportation methods into our overall strategy, we can reduce our reliance on personal vehicles and address the root causes of many environmental problems. This approach not only cuts down on emissions, but it also helps create healthier, more sustainable communities. While EVs are a step in the right direction, they are not a silver bullet for the challenges we face in transportation and urban development. A truly sustainable future requires us to rethink our entire transportation system, focusing on reducing car dependency and promoting a broader range of sustainable transportation options. Another important factor to consider is the role of consumerism in the EV narrative. The idea that purchasing an EV is an environmentally responsible choice is attractive, but it also feeds into the broader concept of green consumerism, the belief that we can buy our way out of environmental problems. While making eco-friendly choices is certainly beneficial, it's not enough to address the deeper systemic issues that contribute to environmental degradation. Focusing too much on EVs as a solution to climate change can also distract from the need for broader systemic changes. These include stronger regulations on emissions, greater incentives for renewable energy development, and increased investment in sustainable infrastructure. To effectively tackle the environmental challenges we face, we need a comprehensive approach that goes beyond just adopting EVs. We need to rethink our transportation systems, energy production, and consumption habits. One promising strategy is the concept of a circular economy. In this model, resources are used more efficiently, products are designed with recycling or reuse in mind, and waste is minimized. For EVs, this could involve creating batteries that are easier to recycle, improving recycling technologies, and finding new ways to repurpose batteries once they're no longer suitable for vehicles. So what are your views on today's video? Please let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.